start recording, and then I can upload this to YouTube when we're done.
All right, thanks.
So I like starting with high ground. Is there a reason why you got off high ground here?
I'm sorry?
You started on high ground with Soldier, and then you ran away. And I was just wondering if if you remember what you were thinking or feeling. Um, did you have do you remember why you gave up high ground?
I think it was because I didn't have like quite the visibility because like at that moment like there was like a really big like cluster like really close to the wall, so I couldn't see um um very well.
Okay. That sounds good. I think in general, we want to be careful about giving up high ground too easily because it will be to your advantage. And so,
Oh, no, 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 no. No, yeah. I went because like I saw the Hammond a little too close to the point. Like I'm going directly there.
okay. If
Yeah,
we
I
ever,
saw that now.
my advice here would be if you see Hammond or you see someone going in the back line, this is still going to be your best position. Because even if I'm standing right here, pretend I'm soldier, I can shoot, 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 shoot. I can back up and shoot, 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 shoot. I'm still shooting him, and he's probably dead by now. And yeah, there's Hanzo there. You want to back up and kind of hide if you're not looking that way. And then you have a lot of opportunity to do a lot of damage just holding this high ground. Do be aware if you get contested, Lucio or Hanzo or Diva, if they come up here running, just sprinting straight down here, and then getting to your team this way is usually safer than taking the taking this path. Simply because it's faster.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions on that one?
So far, not any.
Okay. Let's go ahead and continue. And I think here, even though you do have sprint, and we want to be careful about, so there's 2 points I'll make real quick. So as soldier, you have to cover the left and the right. And they do have divas, which can jump you on high ground. So I do like that you gave this up now that they're pushed forward. At the same time, every time you change sides, every time you change angles, you have to run. And you have to give up time. And you have to give up shooting. You have to give up reloading. You have to give up an action in order to run. So generally, if you're over here and they're pushing, it's okay to stay over here. The other option would have been if they gave way, is you can retake this high ground if you know they're going to retreat. So let's say you feel that you won this fight. This fight's already won and your team's going to win and you have the advantage. Just retake the high ground and it'll give you the best for new people coming in and people running away. If you feel like you haven't won yet, which it really depends. I think you guys have won. Once Monkey and Hog go in, you guys should win. And because they're two down. They're down a healer and a tank. And then the second point I wanted to bring up is try to be careful about running forward. If you play out in the open, there's no natural cover. So even if you played here where you dropped your health, there's no natural cover to hide behind. You would have to sprint and run and turn the corner and then be here. Or sprint and run and turn the corner and then be here. Whereas if you were already right here, all you have to do is fight Hanzo. Or if you were already right here, all you would have to do is fight Diva and Tracer, and Hanzo's blocked off. And so you take a 3v1 and turn it into a 1v1 or a 2v1, which, you know, technically it's just Tracer. And both of those guys are close range, so it's technically you have full advantage right here. You just have to be careful for flanks. So just some ideas, especially if you can help it, try to keep one of your tanks in front of you. That may not always be possible, but if that's not possible, always, always, always play your natural cover. Super defensive position, if they're just going to push, a setup spot would have been up here. So you hang out up here, and you shoot left, and you can shoot right. You can even stand on an edge, so you can stand right here, and you can see both corners. You can shoot them here and take cover, and take more cover just by backing up. So you can be back here and just shoot their heads. And then if they becomes a threat, you can back up real quick. So you have a lot of advantages with high ground simply because you can back up. And there's more advantages to that too, because then they'll ignore you or they'll forget about you sometimes, in which case you just pop back up with your same line of sight, and all of a sudden they've turned the corner. They're walking around like this on the point, and they don't even see you up there shooting them until it's too late. You killed a squishy.
Oh, I see.
So high ground is super, super powerful. And try not to give it up unless you are forced to give it up. Any questions on that one?
So far, nope.
Okay. Let's go ahead and continue. So I think the big reason you're able to stay out there is because you had 3 heals going and there were a lot of misses. And it's 2 short range characters. If they had pushed forward, I think you would have been in trouble. Even with your team there, because all of your tanks are over here.
Yep.
So if Lucio, Diva, Tracer, and Hanzo had all just rushed you with Diva Matrix, you would have very likely died.
Yeah.
And you had both healers too in that position. You had Mercy, Zenorb, and also your own heal sustaining you and trying to keep you alive, which means it takes it away. You took the healers away from anyone else that would have been making a play or doing a thing. You could accomplish the same thing using a cover without without using both healers. Cool. Let's keep going. Yeah, cover's going to be a big one, I think.
Yes.
I know, and we'll see it. We'll see it a little bit here. I like how you're using the tanks. I like how you're next to this rock. Now you're next to the tower, and you're pushing forward with your tanks. Just keep in mind that cover is still really important. And so your tanks were your cover there. Now you don't have any cover, and you got punished for it. And it actually caused you to run really far.
Where am I?
Oh, you're right there. I missed it too. We'll see. So you run up, Rambo,
Yeah.
and then you run away, and then you come back around.
I'm exposed. Yeah.
So again, just be careful. Keep those tanks in front. Keep that cover available. McCree has the right idea with the high ground. You have a lot of power there. I can give you some mechanical goals along the way as well. So the forward-backward movement that you're doing, we'll watch it again. We'll go at like 0.5. So if you watch, you're just doing forward-backward. You don't strafe. And so this isn't really doing anything for you because you're still... it would do something for you if someone was right here or, you know, from the side. And maybe... No, not right there. Yeah, it would have to be here. Because they would shoot you, you know, when you're dodging this way. But if you're standing over here, What if you run forward and backwards, and I'll back up to show you. But if you stand right here, which is where all the enemies are, you actually don't move on my screen by moving forward and backwards. So if I shoot right at your head, so there it moved. But if I shoot right at your head while you're running at me, I don't have to aim anymore. I don't have to move my mouse. I can still hit your head because you're running
Like,
forward and backwards. It's
mm,
a straight line, right? And so I would encourage, stay still. Either if you're safe, stay still, and then strafe left and right.
mm,
So only go on the angles that you're dueling on, perpendicular. So if you are dueling all of these guys in one direction, strafe left and right. Don't worry about forward and backwards. If you are dueling someone in front of you and over there to your right, then you want to use forward and backwards. So you can make a circle, you can make a diagonal line, because this makes you move to side on the people in front of you, but it also makes you move side to side to the person next to you.
mm.
Um, the other idea is if you do just strafe left and right like this, you're strafing left and right to the person in front of you, but to the people over here, you're still going forward and backwards like this. And so
Yeah.
it's an easy shot. Does all that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. So we'll continue. And again, the soldier's power really does come from his range, or one of his big advantages is his range. So again, this high ground, or even being back here, you can have a really good line of sight, or even back here.
Um, one question.
Mm-hmm.
Soldier has fall of damage.
Yes.
I don't quite remember.
Yes, but it's a forgiving fall off. It's not super far. It's not like Widow or anything, but it's also not
Mhm.
Tracer.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the exact number. We'd have to look that one up.
Oh yeah. The the, the exact number doesn't really matter. Here I think I don't have a ruler. After all.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hmm.
All right, cool. Let's go on to the next fight. Any questions?
So far, not really. Everything you said made 100% sense.
Nice.
Objective lost.
And so
Oh,
I'll comment on this one too because I just noticed we have no tanks. It's just three of us, and the objective finished maybe a second ago or so.
oh
And
yeah.
so at this
Just
point,
finished.
yeah, at this point we can't do anything because they already capped the point. And
Yep.
so if we turn the corner, we put ourselves at a big risk, even with double pocket, with double healers.
Mhm.
With triple heal, with your own heal, the only thing that's really going to happen, you're going to put yourself at risk and you might die. You might get some ult charge, your healers might get some ult charge, but all three of you are now in danger by charging forward.
Mhm.
Hey, Monkey's there. So I think with all of them balled up, Monkey saved the day. With that Discord as well, we got to be really careful. Especially with a one-shot hero like Hanzo. Hanzo lands a headshot arrow. It's going to be a tough time. So use your tanks, use your tanks. If they're not ready, you're not ready.
Mhm.
So right here, that would have been a really good opportunity. So Monkey's going to go in. So you're in there, you used your abilities, you used your cooldowns. Actually, let's see, did you? So you used your... Oh no, you didn't use anything yet. But Monkey's going in. And so if we were playing as... so I'll explain a concept really quick. In Bronze No
Yeah.
More, I use a term called action trigger. And an action trigger is an action that someone does in the game, either on your team or the enemy team, and it causes you, it makes you, you've decided to do something based on that action. And so the action trigger you can make, and there's tons of them. You can be very creative with this. One of the action triggers you can have is when monkey goes in, I will shoot whoever he shoots. And that is your action trigger for the game. Or even when monkey goes in, I will be aggressive, etc., etc. When monkey goes in, I will take a high ground. So you can do all kinds of things, and it looks like Hanzo's pretty good with his headshot still. And so monkey's turning this corner. Zarya's bomb pushed Hanzo a little bit out of the way, and so if you had that mindset, okay, monkey's going in, it's my turn to shine, and you rounded this corner with monkey here, I think you could have killed Hanzo with your rockets. But we rounded it a little too late. He gets away. He gets heals. He gets a barrier. Everyone jumps in to save him. And it's still kind of an open brawl. And we're running away from our natural cover. We're getting caught out in the open again. And they just ulted to engage. And so here they all come. And we run away. I think this is okay because monkey ulted.
But it was a little bit of a luck. I can't really like depend on them.
I think so I oh, McCree's here. Let's take a look at McCree real quick. Oh no, he's gonna run away. Never mind, never mind. Okay, so when you come over here, I'm gonna look from the doorway. And so right here, we can see all these players from the doorway. This is really safe. This is natural cover. We can hide, we can run. If D.Va flies towards us, if Hanzo starts shooting us, whatever, we can duel. We can duel, we can duel, we can duel. If we run out there, we lose all of our cover. Maybe what we could do is use this. But this is a little more dangerous because it's open. And there's no health kit. The health kit's right here. So if we're running out like that, I think that's a habit that we're seeing a lot in this video, that we want to kind of back away from. Try to get out of the habit of running forward, running backwards, running forward, running backwards. And you see you're taking some damage and you're taking some aggro that you probably wouldn't have taken back here. Now you have Hanzo on you, you have other people on you. And it works out, you get bubbled, you get saved because of the bubble. Maybe you get some heals. You got a lot of kills, your team pushed in with you. So that is really good that your team pulled through. At the same time, I think you could have gotten the same value in a much safer spot. And a much more hidden. And who knows, maybe Hanzo would have headshot you in a different game. And that was, again, really deep into their team. In most other games, as you progress, or rather, I'm not going to say most
You're
other
reckless.
Games. Yeah, it's reckless. So, and as you go deeper and deeper into ranked matches or your Overwatch play, people will start to realize what's important. And so you might get stunned by McCree, or hooked by Hog, or smashed by Brigitte, or anything like this. Or you might get booped by Lucio and killed by both DPS.
As a whole, I'm just punished for pushing too hard and too far.
Yes, I agree. Okay, cool. So I think we're good with that concept. And again, that's natural cover. If we looked at where you died, it is the most middle of the road. So if you go into war and They tell you to fight the enemy. Don't ever fight in the middle of the road. Always use a corner. Always use doors. Always use um, something where you can protect yourself. Okay, so it
The
looks.
oldest. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no. Nothing.
Okay. It looks like your team's getting pushed back, but and they're losing people as they fall back. And so right now there should be a strong advantage for the enemy team. They just have to capitalize on it and get in there. I think losing their other tank was rough. Okay, it worked out. It balanced out. So again, we ran really far. We didn't have to. I think the only reason we ran is because we went forward. We went past our tank and we got shot a little bit and we ran really far away. And if you need me to replay that, let me know.
Oh yeah. So far I follow what's
Okay,
happening.
that was a good pick. Sometimes it pays off. But now we left our monkey in there. So those are free kills right there with people shooting monkey. Oh, I see. So this is a little bit of a risk for McCree. We'll see what he does. No, he's going to die for it, maybe. Oh, maybe not. There he is.
No.
All right. Oh, unfortunate. So a lot of these advantages that the enemy team is getting is created by running forward.
Mhm.
Monkey has an escape. You have an escape, but many other people don't. You have an escape in a way. You can run. But like, really find someone in your group to pair with. I think Monkey created additional opportunities when he put his bubble right here and was tanking. If the enemy team had just run and hid, there would be no opportunity. But since they were fighting Monkey, still you can use this corner and just shoot. He had Hanzo to half health or something. Again, that's one rocket. And you would have killed Hanzo, and they would have been staggered. And he wouldn't have been able to ult, and he wouldn't have killed McCree. And all this other stuff, it's like a waterfall effect. Positive things happen when players play for their team, not just with their team. And so you play for Monkey. You play for your healers. And those people begin to empower you, and you empower them based on just simply changing how you play, changing your mindset, and changing your decisions in turn. And I think I did see your mechanical aim earlier in how you aimed. I think it's fine. I wouldn't focus on that. I would focus on these broad strokes. I would focus on these mindset shifts for when you do get goals to practice, which I'll give you some at the end of this. Those are going to be the most value. Good, you guys have high ground. This is wonderful. So let's get in there. There's Monkey trigger. It's time to shoot. That's good. That's good.
Wait, I fell.
That's okay. That's okay. Generally, you don't want to give it up.
In fact, I think if I remember correctly, in this case in particular, like I actually failed.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like I was edging a little bit too much and sprinted and fell off, I think.
I see. Okay. That sounds good. I think with Lucio on the cart, you're fine just covering the back like this. Or if you want to, you can strafe to the right and cover most of the cart. Because your team was there too, so he was probably fine with everyone on him. The other option would have just been to be ready here. Or when they start running, when they start backing up, you just find someone easy to pick, easy to kill, and we can watch that too. I'll pause it. So you're up here with Monkey. He's about to engage. We'll wait for him to engage. So you had the right idea. You looked around, and then he engaged. There are 3 people there, and they start backing off from Monkey. And this is when you notice it. So one option is keep looking at the cart. I think with people back there, you're fine. And the other option would be to just come over here. You can catch Tracer. You can catch Zarya. And then you can see over there, and then they're in view. And they can't do anything. You could just stand still and shoot them. Even to Eva in the doorway, Zarya. You're still making use of this high ground, uncontested. No one's a threat. You can just, it's like a PvE game. You know, it's like a shooting RPG game. You can just stand still and shoot at all the enemies that move around. Because they're all shooting people in front. They're all shooting the tanks. They're all shooting, you know, the healers and everybody else. And you have easy mode, shooting fish in a barrel. And your team, that only happens when your team gives it to you. So when they give it to you, take advantage of it. And make sure all your shots hit, or most of your shots hit. Ooh, Grav Bomb. That was a good one. Yeah, there's nothing you could have done there other than being on high ground. If you were on high ground, there's ways you could run to get away from that, but then your team would have died, so it really wouldn't have mattered. But it was 2 ults, so that's good. And good, you're taking high ground again. This is awesome. So
And
you
there you
gave it
go.
up. Yeah, don't give it up.
It's not going to listen to you. You are a couple of days late.
And then using your ult back here too, it worked that last time because you had your team there. And you had the bubble, and you had some heals later on. And everyone was kind of scattered everywhere, and so you were already winning. You were already at advantage, and that's why that ult worked so well that first time. This time you were alone. You were dueling Zarya, and so it didn't work out for you. I do like the high ground again. Good
Well,
strafing.
you have
That's good.
was um was one question was
Mm-hmm.
in particular maybe for later if you want. I've been getting wrecked like hard by Zarya like every single match I went it was against her. Do you have like any particular advice for that? For like for like um fighting Zarya?
Yes. There's 2 things. One, does she kill you mostly with her beam or with her grenades?
Beam.
And so that means that you're too close to her. Because your range is like 3 times that of Zarya's range. Maybe 4 times to be effective still. And the second tip I have, so 1 is back up. Don't be in beam range. And 2 is don't use your rockets until she bubbles.
Sorry?
So don't use your Helix rockets until she uses her bubble.
Mm.
So shoot her, shoot her, shoot her. She bubbles. You stop shooting. You wait. It goes away. And then you can rocket and shoot her for the kill.
Mm.
And if she's getting healed, just shoot the healer if you can.
Mhm.
And then in general, that's a good technique. Never shoot the tanks. Try to always, always, always shoot the other 4 players, healers or DPS.
The squishies.
Yep. And if you do shoot tanks, make sure it's headshots if possible.
Mhm.
Um, that will really help you with Zarya.
Mhm. I got it.
Cool. Good question.
Mhm. Good answer.
Thank you. So this is yours.
Where am I?
Oh, good try. That's the right idea, though. When that does happen, feel free to stand still. Really get that shot in.
Mhm.
Unless you're in danger. Good, you're backing up, you're getting range. This is good, back up. Good, good. And get to natural cover. You did get that Discord. And then here too, being on high ground is to your advantage.
I'm going there now.
That
But
might be...
Junkrat's following.
Unless you have your ult. Oh man. That's a little unfortunate. So I think running up and around took a lot of time.
Mhm.
You guys, I think, are still going to win this fight. But back here is fine. Back here is fine. These are still slightly off angles for when they rotate the corner, when they turn the corner. And then if you do get the advantage where you guys are starting to push forward, you can take the high ground. But taking the high ground in the fight while it's happening costs a lot of shooting. Nice. Cool. Did you have any other questions for me?
Mm, I think nothing in particular. Just raring to hear those objectives.
Perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead. I can write these down too, but I'll also say them here just real quick.
Yep.
One is going to be keep your high ground as much as possible
Mm.
until you're forced off of it, or it becomes very dangerous. So the whole team's like pushed up to these trees, and you're still here. You're like, maybe you'll get a bunch of kills, or maybe they'll jump you. So one or the other is going to happen. So it's up to you. Before they get to these trees, before they cross here, should I run, or is my team going to hold strong? So you can make that decision. Um, but in general, yeah, use your high ground, keep your high ground. Number 2, don't run out in front of everybody. It gets rid of your range advantage, and it also
Mm.
turns you into the center of attention, which are 2 really rough things to work with as soldier.
Mm.
Soldier is really effective, the most effective, when he is actually has no attention at all. If people ignore soldier, they die. And so your
Mm.
team is there for the enemy team to ignore you.
Mm.
Or at least try to get in those positions, because you'll do really well. Third, along with that, we spoke a little bit about the moving forward and backwards. So be careful with this habit. And if they're in front of you, just go left and right. And if they're at 2 angles, just go at a diagonal or a circle. So diagonal like this, or a circle. That way you're dodging on all axes, all directions. Other than that, I know we spoke about Zarya. We spoke about action triggers, monkey. So when something happens, for example, monkey. When monkey goes in, that is when you round the corner and wreck everybody's face, because he will half health them, especially the squishies, and you're going to try your best to capitalize on that. When monkey is not ready, you are not ready. And other action triggers to be creative. You can make your own. And so, other than that, we spoke about Zarya with don't use your rockets until she bubbles. and using range to your advantage. Try not to let her be in your face. Um, Running around was another thing we spoke about. If you have a good sightline and you have targets and you have targets of opportunity and you're a threat, keep shooting. That's okay. Even if your team kind of rotates your soldier, you can get away. When the enemy team rotates, you're shooting them in the back. So this is perfect. What you don't want to do is give up a corner for any light reason. Like, oh, I don't feel like I like these targets in front of me, or something like that. So, and I think it was Lucio and Hanzo and Tracer. And so I don't want to fight these guys, so I'm going to run over here and I'm going to start shooting over here. I don't think, I don't believe you get too much value out of that. I think holding this corner and peeking and fighting and being a constant threat, taking advantage of all the opportunities that you get, is much more valuable than changing sides and shooting and changing sides and shooting. And then I think finally we spoke about another topic of running. If there is a fight engaged, uh, shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and pressure and pressure and pressure. Because as soon as you decide to run, it is a long way. You just sacrificed about 3 reloads of bullets in that front line, and your team could crumble without you. It turns into a 5v6, at least for a little bit. And then up here, you may put yourself at danger too, depending on their team. Diva can fly up here, Ball can slam. You could be dueling Lucio and Zenyatta and Hanzo. They can all get up here very easily, and your team can't help you. They would just push forward. Maybe Monkey could help you. All right. And I think that covers everything. I can type all that up. Awesome. Any other comments before we wrap things up?
Nothing in particular, just like thanking you. This has been amazingly helpful.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. Um, I'll type those up and I'll give you some goals to work on, like per round, per match, and you can let me know how that goes. Maybe a week from now, and you can just do a quick follow up or anything. But awesome. Well, good deal. I'll go ahead and end the stream here, and I'll let you have a good rest of your day, Matalya.
All right, thanks.
No problem. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye bye.
I hope to see you in Vietnam. Hopefully.
Yeah. Should be cool. Good luck.
Thanks. I'm gonna need it, honestly. Bye.
Bye bye.